Okay, first, Lumani is honored to be conducting this session on IoT. And basically, this is a very basic session to allow people to have some understanding of IoT. So before I start, I would like to highlight that because IoT is a very wide topic, and a certain topic requires a very in-depth expertise, and probably may be covered by specific people with specific domain knowledge in the future series. Lumani expertise is in building an IoT platform, and our focus is for the automation of building operation like the aircon and lighting. So we will focus very much of our topic in this area of IoT that's related to building. So let me go straight to the agenda right now. Okay, I will keep the agenda in four main sections. Introduction to IoT, a quick overview, the benefits, the IoT application, and how can we implement it in facility management. I will touch base some of the challenges, objectives, so that you can use these two to make your procurement consideration, followed by some examples. I also like to close with some final notes to let us have some takeaway in this session as of what do we really want in our IoT implementation. So IoT in a nutshell, I guess by now all of us are in a way or another using some IoT products or services, and it's basically connected devices to the internet. And if we do a Google search, and you can see the link there, by 2020, it will be a pretty huge market in terms of connected people, connected devices, and revenue. At the same time, if we look further beyond, it is easily 100 billion connected device and a global impact of more than 11 trillion by 2025. So what are the trends and technologies that is driving this IoT or driving this change that is enabling a smart building? So today in a smart building, if you look at the basic assets, we already have technologies that control the lights, the energy management, the aircon, security, and so on. So what can IoT bring this further? With more powerful sensors, better connectivity over the internet, the application, the data analytics, IoT will bring facility management to another level in terms of a big size. Today, you may have system managing one building, but with IoT, you can have a more cost-effective system managing several buildings or a city. And most importantly, one of the trend that is also influencing smart building IoT is the birth of the digital generation. Today, not only the young, but I guess a lot of us are holding a smartphone or have encountered with smart device. So having things done in a smart way has become a norm. At Lumani, we felt that this smart trend will continue in a manner like the tap. We take tap water for granted. We take electricity as a necessity. So in time to come, the smart building will become a necessity. It will become a norm as what we believe in. So to give a further insight, let's look at the different phases and capability of IoT. This is a a report by the Harvard Business Review, and they segment this IoT into 4 different phases and 4 different capabilities, namely monitoring, control, optimize, and autonomous. So let me go into further details in the next few slides. So today we already have sensors and data collecting the information to monitor a product condition or an equipment condition, the environment, and this monitoring process can also send us alert and notification. So this is the first phase of IoT. I'm hearing some input, so maybe let me check if somebody is trying to get in. So okay, anyway, let's continue. So so that's about monitoring, which is the first phase of the IoT process. And the second phase is about control. So we have software embedded in the product or in the system or cloud to control the function. And we can also personalize the user experience. And next, after monitoring and control, definitely we would like to look at how to optimize the performance. So there will be algorithm, there will be some optimization of the product operation to allow predictive diagnosis, service, and repair. So we have touched through the first 3 phases of IoT, which is more common in the environment today, be it in the service industry, the logistic industry, the manufacturing industry, or even the facilities industry. And I felt that one of the industry that is moving fastest in this IoT phase is the automobile industry. There is car developed that we can do monitoring, control, and even optimizing the performance in terms of the petrol, in terms of the fastest route to travel to a particular destination. So the car industry is moving towards what they call autonomous, which is basically driverless. So you do not need to take action by the human for a certain task to be committed. So that is an autonomous process, combining monitoring, control, and optimization. So it allows autonomous product automation, self-coordination of operation with other product and system. So in this way, you can also do autonomous product enhancement and personalization. So one example is this diagram here, where at Lumani, we have a system that understands the environment such that the common product like aircon and light do not need human intervention to operate. If an environment is full of people, it will optimize the operation to operate at busy mode. The light output is at high level, the aircon output temperature can be low and fan high. So if in another zone where it is in nobody, you can go into silent mode, where the lighting can be low level or to off. The AC output can be high and fan turn to off. Likewise, there may be scenario where you need some lights and some aircon. It will be driven at this moderate level, where light is sensor driven and temperature and fan is medium. So with this, we covered the first portion of the introduction of IoT on the overview. And is there any question that we like to run through at this time? Okay, let me run to the next portion of the introduction regarding the benefits. So what are the key benefits of IoT in building? Definitely a cost more cost-effective system will be one of the benefits. Safety and security, increase efficiency and innovation in the operation maintenance of the buildings, and it can actually provide some value-add service to the client from the data that the system collects. So it depends on what kind of service the client wants. The data analytics can actually do a lot of functions, which we will touch base later. And of course, we want to make sure that since it's an intelligent system, it does not compromise on the occupant's comfort. And ultimately, we can also get the prestige of being a green and smart building. So let's look at all this in a more numbers related slide in terms of operations and revenue. So for effective asset management, it will help us improve operational efficiency, reduce costs, and increase throughput. In terms of generating new revenue stream, it can be from existing business, or you can also identify new product offerings like retail analytics, the occupancy management, security management, or energy management. So all these can be customized based on the data collected by all these sensors fed to the IoT platform. And with this, building will no longer just be a place where people rent a place to work. You can create experience for your customer, for your tenant, so that they remain loyal to you. And it also opened door to a new business model through subscription service of the reports or analytics. So these are some of the new trends that we are seeing, and also the benefits. Okay, so let me go to the application portion. As mentioned, I will focus more of the application based on services that are related to buildings. So if we look at the current environment, we have the retail industry using beacon or mobile apps, and they are spending about $44 billion of advertisement through this channel to inform the client in a shopping center that, hey, we have this promotion, or if the client is near to a particular store, they may inform them that, certain area, there are some events going on, and if they do certain thing, they are entitled to go through a lucky draw or something like this. So that's for the retail. And how about the hotel? Hotel industry uses smart locks, uses room control device and beacons. So these are the trends that we are seeing in this industry, and based on these statistics, is easily 15 to 31% implementing this in their hotels. And finally, we are seeing smart home. We are seeing the younger generation, they buy new home, they want smart home, and today many new launch of the condos have smart home included. So likewise for smart cities. So we can see these numbers are growing. And let's look into further. What is from facility management? What is the more important usage of IoT? We see it as the predictive maintenance of critical building equipment. So with a powerful sensor, we can manage critical equipment, mainly the aircon, the elevator, the escalator. So this sensor can be deployed to monitor real-time temperature or vibration pattern. Through detection of abnormal patterns, we can take preventive actions before actual failures. So by doing so, we can prevent downtime of this equipment. We can reduce the effect caused by the inconvenience for both the building and also the occupants. We can also reduce the spending on preventive and unplanned maintenance. increase occupants' comfort, keep them happy, improve the equipment life cycle. And what we have just went through in terms of predictive is actually a method of forecasting. So in a summary, IoT actually helps us to do a lot of forecasting so that we can ensure that the quality of the equipment is not compromised. The security in terms of the safety of the building using a CCTV or having a good reliable lock system is not compromised to having a good IoT system for forecasting. Likewise, we can also use it for power demand to ensure that power are allocated to the right application in the building, or at least from the smart grid angle, we can understand that the energy authorities can allocate the right power consumption. So we have Charlene just joined us. Welcome, Charlene. We are now at the applications of IoT in the area of forecasting. So let me just continue. So in terms of another form of forecasting would be product demand. For example, for a building, your space is your product. So with the sensors implemented in the building, you can decide which area of your building are more popular, which area has more usage or less usage. So through all these analytics, you can decide which your product demand. And of course, you can do crowd or occupancy management, allocate the right resource, the manpower to the right area. And ultimately, with analytics, with Beacon, you can identify valuable customers, keep the customer loyalty, keep the customer loyal, and have loyalty program. And I'll be discussing some of these in some of the real case example later. So before I move on to implementing IoT in facility management, I just like to make sure that so far there isn't any question, or if there's any question, we can put up for some general discussion. Okay, so I shall go on to the next segment, which is about implementing IoT in facility management. So I break down this into 3 key segments. By understanding the challenges and also your objective, then we can make procurement consideration. And I'll follow up with some examples based on the previous few slides. There might be some related applications. So challenges. First, cost is always a challenge. We always have this challenge of whether to implement, for example, a standard light or a smart light, fire extinguisher with smart sensor, or just plain fire extinguisher. So this is something very tricky, and is always part of the consideration for a lot of building owners. Improve reliability, efficiency, and operational continuity. So the question lies here is the technology reliable? Will implementing this improve the efficiency? And is this the end? Or rather, how long will I get to use this technology? Because the technology are always changing. Is this a future-proof technology? Are we able to scale it up? And availability of standard protocol and interoperability with other products. And old building is definitely a challenge because of the legacy, system in terms of the network, the electricity, and so on. And reporting and compliance is another area that we need to make sure that we comply with all these statutory regulatory requirements. So with these challenges in mind, let's move on to objective. So if I break down the objective of implementing IoT, we can say that some is to enhance the building performance, enhance the energy saving, be friendly to the environment, achieve greater ROI through a more cost-effective procurement process, have a fully auditable evidence-based data set to meet compliance. That's where the energy management, the before and after, may have to be done so that the building can be submitted for certain certifications. And other than that, it is also an objective to be recognized as a leader in terms of innovation and also in terms of thought. So with this objective and the challenges, let's look at how can we blend this together to make some good consideration. So let's look at the data collection and IoT phase and capabilities. If you recall earlier, I talked about the 4 phases of IoT, namely the monitoring, control, optimize, and autonomous. So having an understanding of which phase of this IoT that you are implementing is important, because it will decide your procurement in terms of your data collection. In terms of your building, are you going to implement sensors, temperature sensors for aircon, occupant sensor for motion, energy reading, air quality sensors, photo sensors? So there are so many sensors to collect. So which phase are we looking at? And after collecting this data, what kind of system are we having to monitor this data? And what kind of control system, whether is it a cloud or in-house, are we using to control and monitor these sensors? And of course, the optimized portion, what kind of analytics we are generating? This an automatic or manual process? So the thing here is that we need to be clear of what type of data to collect. Having multiple data is good in the sense that it provides higher accuracy in certain applications, like say building temperature. For example, if a system or building temperature is not only based on the temperature sensor or humidity sensor, it can also based on the occupants, the number of people in the building is also important. You can also base on the energy meter reading. If the building wants to have a quota on the energy consumption for aircon, and of course, if you add on air quality sensor, and so on, it brings a different dimension into managing the building temperature instead of just relying on one data. Okay, and of course, with more sensors, you can create more application that includes space utilization, resource allocation. So, and finally, is your system able to be an autonomous system? So all this will give you an idea of whether you want to implement something to monitor, control, optimize, or autonomous. So that is one part of the procurement consideration. Another part of the procurement consideration is the network. This is a very simple diagram of the whole IoT system, from sensors or actuators collecting the data, transmitting over the network to the internet, and then there will be some apps, analytics, and so on. So let's look at item by item. We have accuracy and cost. So for the sensor, we are always concerned about the accuracy and the cost. So when you purchase, some sensors may cost sub $10, some sensor may cost $100. So ascertaining the accuracy of this is very important. But cheap doesn't mean good, expensive also doesn't mean good. So these are some of the consideration that we need to consider when implementing the solution. Likewise, having a network, whether are we going to run through the Wi-Fi, the Sigfox, LoRa, Zigbee, Bluetooth, or the telecommunication network. This is another area where we need to consider the cost. The reliability of the network, how stable is it? The security of the network. And in fact, as I mentioned in the early portion of this event or this seminar, that IoT is a very broad topic. Security itself is a huge domain. So there are definitely a lot of IoT vendors there having their security system built in. But when we talk to many security company, the general consensus is that we build security to prevent honest people from breaking in. If dishonest people want to break in, it's a matter of time. So we just need to continuously improve on our security to make sure that our system are not compromised. So finally, in terms of apps and analytics, we always want to make sure that the ease of use, how easy to use it, and how easy to read the report. And this is the portion where autonomous will be the trend of the IoT. When we talk about autonomous, I like to use the car as an example. That ultimately the future car is that we don't need to drive. The car will take you from point A to point B. So ultimately, the dream of many IoT developers are to make it as easy to use as possible for the user. So imagine that if you do not need to even go analyze the report, the system can take the action for you. So that is ease of use. Or maybe there is another topic known as artificial intelligence, which is another hot topic today. Today, we talk about AI in robotics. We talk about AI in software. We talk about AI in almost everything related to the technology. So with AI or intelligence, we believe that in time to come, the usage will be very easy. So this is the second part of the procurement consideration. Now I would like to talk about the procurement consideration beyond ROI. So there is always a challenge to decide between the CapEx or OpEx, the capital expenditure or the operational expenditure. So we need to do beyond just the cost per item when we implement IoT. We need to look at the long-term maintenance cost and the hardware or software repair or maintenance cost. This is item number one. And of course, some intangible gain. By having a smart system, you may have a better corporate image. By having the latest system in your building, you may retain more client, more tenant, or even ease of acquiring new customers will be there. And also, you can always tap on IoT to offer new business solution to your client, new business model. So these are the three key things that I'd like to share on procurement consideration. And let's go into the example. Today, if you look into office or meeting room, there are so many things that we can make it smart, or there are so many things that we can make it IoT. For example, you can have a security camera, that's also IoT. You can have a sensitive planter where if the water level go beyond certain level, it send you a note. It's time to water the plant. You can have smart lock, smart lights, smart climate control, all this hooked to the cloud, and window shades, water gauges for your fish tank if there's one, and motion sensors, and a conference room reservation. So all these things are basically IoT device, and the imagination are getting more and more. And maybe let's look at some real case example. Uh, Smart toilet. What does a smart toilet do at the latest sports hub in Tampines? Okay. As you know, Singapore is moving towards smart nation. So if you go to the our Tampines hub portal, you will get to see this. So they installed smart toilets featuring a visualizer system, audio concentration level, which is basically a sensor to monitor the smell, and then alert the attendant so that if a toilet is too dirty, it's time to clean, and also track the usage. So with this, what is the advantage? It actually helps to reduce the effort of the cleaning supervisor to monitor every toilet, and the cleaning company will be able to allocate their resource correctly in terms of cleaners, and also which toilet to clean. And in fact, if certain toilet are not so dirty, maybe it can be cleaned less often. In that aspect, they also can save some on the detergent and so on, and it also help to be friendlier to the environment. So in a nutshell, what is in this system is basically people counting, a smell sensor, alert system, and crowd density. Next, let's look at somewhere further. This is in Amsterdam, in this building called the Edge. If you Google, it's like the world greenest building, and they are connected with 28,000 sensors on the lights. So all these sensors include motion, include light sensor, temperature, humidity, infrared. And what does this sensor do? They help to control the climate. They help to allocate space. In this building, they have this concept such as hot desk. And they actually use this for resource management, reduce their cleaning if certain area are not so used, and also for their food management at the cafeteria. How often is the cafe patronized, or particular day, particular hour, etc., so that they can prepare the food in this manner. So this is one usage. Another example in Abu Dhabi, this one is external of the building. You can see that this building has a very interesting facade. So they actually call this intelligent facade. So this facade can be used to optimize energy usage. So with certain design and setting during the day or night, it actually helps to reduce solar gain and also the carbon emission, and it helps to improve the daylight penetration. So it is actually being classified as an integration of architectural form, structure, system, and sustainable design. So I guess some of you might be very familiar with green car park in Singapore. Instead of having the exhaust fan run all the time, sensors can be attached to the exhaust fan, activate the exhaust fan when carbon monoxide level trigger more than 1,000 ppm. So this can reduce significant savings rather than just keeping your exhaust fan running all the time. So I'm coming to the almost the end of the presentation. So may I just check if there's any question before I sum up, or any things that we can put up for discussion? Okay. So anyway, I took a recording. I will put this. I will send this to IFMA, and then you can refer to the notes accordingly. So this final notes is to let us think about what is a smart building IoT. Because today there are so many concepts about smart, but what is really smart and what is really smart building IoT? So I just like to pose this question. Does smart really make things easier? So this is another important consideration that we touched base earlier when we implement an IoT system. Would it make our job easier? Would it make everything easier, smarter? So let's take an example. Is it easier to use a smartphone to control the light? So if we use a smartphone, we need to unlock the screen, turn on the app, switch on the light. There's 3 steps. If we use a wall switch, it's 1 step. If we use sensor light, it's 0 step. However, sensor light may have automatic operation, but there are errors uh, in the sense that there might not be intelligence built in the sensor, so it might not operate to the manner that you like. If there is an autonomous lighting that provide the highest convenience, highest power utilization, that is something that we see as a smarter way. With true automation, good accuracy, intelligence built in, the system can be smarter. I'm using light as an example. So if I change this to aircon, there are also a lot of solutions using apps to turn on the aircon. The concept is the same. At the end of the day, we want to look at it. Is it really that smart? Is it autonomous? So if we look at a smart home today, there are a lot of remote control, sensors, and so on. It's nice to have, but it's still manually controlled. Smart energy, we record the data, we generate, we report, and after that, we analyze the report, we need to manage and manually control. Likewise, we have advanced system in the building that can control automatically, but what is lacking today is the intelligence, the on-machine optimization, which I believe in time to come, there will be a lot of machine learning built into this system. So I would like to share that let's think beyond smart building IoT and look at some disruptive approach. In this recent article by Energy Today, they talk about lighting as a service, and today they see that it can be a key enabler for the future. So of course, this is something a bit disruptive. It may require some collaboration between the manufacturer, the supply, installation to make this happen. So that is the last of my slide. I thank you very much. This is my contact. You may contact me, send me an email if you have any questions relating to basic concept of IoT that I can share with you. And let's raise your profit, save our planet with IoT. Thank you very much. Andrew? CS, are you there?
Yeah. Thanks for the presentation.
So is there any questions that we need to run through, or you prefer to drop me an email later?